Mozilla has a new version of Firefox that's just arrived. Tell us about the new version of Firefox.
Yeah, so it changes a lot of what we do to match the way we live our online lives. And users will notice some pretty dramatic differences. The first one is going to be speed. Much more powerful, much quicker.
So tell me, much quicker. How quicker is much quicker?
6 to 10 times faster. And so you'll feel it both in startup time. You'll also feel it in performance of the web page or any applications you run on the web. It'll just be nearly an order of magnitude quicker. The second is, as we're doing more of our online lives through a browser, we're doing both web apps and applications. We need to enable the browser to be much more intuitive to use. So the way we manage open tabs, the way we manage open applications, you're able to logically group them into themes that make sense to you. You're able to navigate easily across those themes. If I go to a page that's an application that I want to have always open, so to speak, I can do an equivalent of a right click and I can just say save as an application tab. And up in the left-hand corner of my browser, that tab, little tiny tab with its own little icon and logo, will stay open all the time. But the tab is also active. So if something changes, I get a new email message or a new tweet, that tab will actually glow, telling me there's some activity that I need to attend to.
Now, the new version of Firefox is available for Windows, for Mac, and then also for Android.
Yeah.
Now, it's also, you've created some interesting ties between your mobile device and your desktop browser. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, a browser on a mobile device is interesting, but it's not enough. What you want to have is something that's consistent across any browser that you open anywhere. So something called Firefox Sync, I'm able to open up all my pages, navigate to those pages, and if I close my desktop, I want that same environment without having to go and recreate it on every device I open subsequent to that. I want it to exist. So now with Firefox Sync in Firefox 4, I can open up my Android-based device. I can open up Firefox, and that same set of preferences, history, passwords will all be retained.
Now, a couple of other things I want to talk about. One is you're not available on the iPhone. There's a version of Firefox, of course, for the Mac. What's Apple's position about not allowing?
Yeah, well Apple has terms and conditions in their App Store that prohibits browsers such as the way we execute our browser to operate. So that's Apple, and they've created a great device based on those terms and conditions. And so we are not available on the Apple-based products or mobile products today. However, Apple has an HTML5 compliant browser that they are growing, and they're providing more. So some of the features of apps that I talked about earlier will be able to run in there as well.
One thing that I think we should talk about a bit is privacy issues on the browser. There's been a lot of concern about the ability of people to cookie you, to follow you around the web, send you targeted advertising, for better or for worse.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about privacy features in the new version.
What we implemented is something called Do Not Track. And what Do Not Track is, really simply, is it's an opportunity for a user to put up their hand and saying, don't track me. You don't have the right to use my information to track me at other sites or to other places unless you tell me what that is and I specifically say you can.